Once upon a time, in the heart of a vast and ancient jungle, there lived a tiger who was feared by all. His name was Raghan, and his roar could make even the tallest trees tremble. His golden coat shimmered beneath the sun, and his amber eyes glowed like fire in the dark. Every animal of the forest, from the nimble deer to the mighty boar, knew better than to cross his path. Raghan ruled the jungle not by wisdom or kindness, but by sheer power and pride. He believed there was no creature alive who could challenge him. One hot afternoon, after devouring his meal near a cool stream, Raghan lay down on a bed of soft grass under a banyan tree. His stomach was full, and his strength unmatched. He gazed at his reflection in the water and thought to himself, "There is no one in this forest as strong, as fierce, or as magnificent as I am, even the king of men, the hunter with his weapons. Fears to step into my territory. I am the true ruler of all." As he basked in his self-praise, a tiny mosquito buzzed nearby. The little creature, whose name was Miko, lived on the same riverbank. Miko had often seen Raghan strutting about with arrogance, bullying smaller animals and scaring them for amusement. Miko, though small, had a sharp mind and a mischievous streak. Hearing the tiger boast aloud, the mosquito couldn't resist flying closer. "Oh, the great Raghan," Miko said in a tiny voice, circling near the tiger's ear. "You think you are the mightiest creature in the world." Raghan blinked, slightly amused. "Who dares to speak to me in that tone?" He growled softly, looking around. He could see no one, except for a faint buzzing sound near his head. "It is I, Miko the mosquito," came the reply, sharp and high-pitched. "I live here too, in your jungle." Raghan burst into laughter, a deep rumbling laugh that shook the leaves from the trees. "You, a mosquito, you are nothing but a speck. I could kill you with a single breath, perhaps," said Miko calmly. "But you boast too much, Raghan. You think you are invincible, yet even small creatures like me have their own strength. I could challenge you if you wish." The tiger snorted. "You challenge me? You must be mad. I am the lord of claws and fangs. You are a weakling who drinks drops of blood. You'd be crushed before you even touch me." "Let's see," said Miko, hovering boldly in front of his nose. "If you are truly as mighty as you say, defeat me." Raghan's pride was stung as sharply as if by a thorn. The idea that a mosquito could mock him was intolerable. "Very well," he growled, baring his long white teeth. "I accept your foolish challenge. When I'm done with you, there will be nothing left but your tiny wings." "Then let's begin," said Miko, his wings humming faster than ever. Let the jungle witness how pride meets its match. Miko darted straight toward the tiger's ear and bit him sharply. Raghan roared and swatted at his head with his paw, but Miko was too quick. He flew around the tiger's face, stinging his nose, then his eyelids, then the tender skin inside his ear. Raghan's roars echoed through the forest. He scratched his own face, tearing at his fur, but Miko dodged every strike. "Stop, you miserable insect!" Raghan bellowed, slapping the air in frustration. But the mosquito only laughed, darting around him like a spark of light. Every bite left the tiger angrier and more desperate. His mighty paws thudded against the ground, claws slicing through vines and dust. He rolled, jumped, and snapped his jaws, but he could not touch the tiny tormentor. Other animals began to gather at a distance. Monkeys, parrots, deer, and even the sly fox, watching the scene in astonishment. They had never seen the great tiger so helpless. Some of them chuckled quietly, hiding behind trees, afraid to laugh too loudly lest Raghan notice them. The tiger's humiliation was complete. The once proud king of the jungle was now dancing wildly in rage. defeated by a creature smaller than his claw. Finally, Miko, satisfied with his victory, flew back a little and said, "Now do you see, Raghun? Size does not make one powerful. Even the smallest can overcome the mighty if they have courage." Panting, Raghun sat down, his fur ruffled, his face scratched from his own claws. He glared at the mosquito, unable to respond. His pride burned deeper than his wounds. "Go," he snarled finally. "Leave me, pest. I will not forget this insult." "As you wish," said Miko cheerfully. "But remember, strength without humility leads to downfall. Even kings must respect others." And with that, Miko buzzed away, proud of his victory. The animals of the jungle whispered about the event for days. "Did you hear? The tiger was beaten by a mosquito," became a popular tale told around every waterhole and burrow. For the first time, fear of the tiger lessened. Animals began to move about more freely, whispering and giggling when they saw him pass. Raghun could not bear it. Everywhere he went, he felt the eyes of the jungle upon him. He roared loudly just to silence their laughter, but even his mighty roar could not erase his shame. He stopped appearing near the riverbank where the mosquito lived. Instead, he spent his days in the deeper forest, sulking beneath thick trees. The once proud tiger had been humbled. Days turned to weeks, and though Miko had won, he too began to boast. "Ha!" he told every insect he met. "I defeated the great tiger. No creature is stronger than I. Even the mighty beasts tremble before my wings." The other mosquitoes buzzed with admiration. Miko began to think he was not just clever, but unbeatable. One evening, as the golden light of sunset filtered through the trees, Miko decided to rest on a leaf near the same river where he had first challenged the tiger. The air was cool and still. He was about to close his tiny eyes when suddenly a spider descended from its web above. Miko, distracted by his own pride, did not notice until it was too late. The spider, swift and silent, caught the mosquito in a single, sticky strand. Miko struggled desperately, his wings flapping, but the web held fast. "Let me go," he cried. "Do you know who I am? I am Miko, who defeated the tiger." The spider chuckled softly, wrapping another strand around him. "That may be," it said, "but you will not defeat me. Pride blinds even the clever." And within moments, Miko's struggle ended. The jungle fell silent once more. That night, as the moon rose, Raghun came down to the river to drink. His wounds had healed, but the memory of his humiliation lingered. As he bent to drink, he noticed the spider's web glistening in the moonlight. Inside it hung the little mosquito who had once mocked him. For a long while, Raghun stared. Then, with a sigh, he said quietly, "So even the proud fall, no matter how small or mighty. The forest teaches all." He turned away and walked into the shadows. The wind rustled through the trees as if whispering the moral of their tale. From that day, Raghun changed. He no longer roared without reason or hunted for sport. He treated other creatures with restraint, remembering how his arrogance had been broken by something as small as a mosquito. The jungle, in turn, found peace again. Seasons passed, and Raghun grew older. His strength faded, his pace slowed, but his wisdom deepened. He became a silent guardian of the forest, feared still, but respected more for his dignity than his claws. Younger animals who had never seen the mosquito incident sometimes wondered why the tiger did not boast as their elders described. The older ones would simply say he learned his lesson from the smallest teacher. One day, as he lay near the river, Raghun heard a faint buzzing sound. For a moment, he thought it was Miko's ghost, but it was only another mosquito, one of many that now thrived there. It landed gently on his paw, and instead of growling or swatting it away, Raghan smiled faintly. "Be well, little one," he murmured. "Your kind once taught me what no battle could." The mosquito flew away unharmed, and Raghan closed his eyes, listening to the peaceful hum of the forest, a hum that once had been his torment, now a song of humility. Years later, when the tiger had passed on, the jungle animals told his story to their young. Once, they would say, a proud tiger thought he was the greatest of all, but a tiny mosquito taught him that no one is too small to make a difference. Generations came and went, but the story of Raghan and Miko was never forgotten. It was told by the river, in the rustle of leaves, in the buzz of wings. The moral remained as timeless as the jungle itself. Power is not measured by size or strength, but by wisdom and humility. Even now, when the wind passes through the banyan tree and ripples the river's surface, the creatures of the forest say it carries a faint echo, the roar of the tiger and the hum of the mosquito, mingling together as one, reminding all who listen that pride may roar, but humility always hums quietly and wins. And so, in the heart of that ancient forest, where the mighty and the small share the same earth and sky, the tale of the tiger and the mosquito lives forever, a whisper of balance, a lesson of strength, and a song of the soul.